chapter 11, lesson 2, is subtraction of decimals. So again, just like the last lesson where we used strategies from before, we will still use the same strategies now. So the pairings are important. So let me write those down. 9 and 1, 8 and 2, 7 and 3, 6 and 4, 5 and 5. Okay, mental math, horizontal, usually just a single place value. So the smaller numbers we try to do mentally. But as the numbers get bigger, we want to do it computationally, so written vertically. When we subtract, we got to make sure that the decimals are aligned. Okay, so our problems come from page 103. So here it says subtract 3.58 from 6.12. So it says to subtract from, so that means 6.12 has to come before minus 3.58. But even if the kids get confused, the fact that 6.12 is bigger, that has to be in the front. So that's why it's important to be consistent to put the bigger number first. Okay, so clearly this is computational, so we will write it vertically. 6.12 minus 3.58. So we cannot take away 8 from 2. We need to borrow and regroup. Okay, so for consistency's sake, we start with an 8. We need 2 more to get to 10. We have an extra 2, making it 4. We can't take away 5 from 0, so we borrow, makes that 5, makes this 10. 10 minus 5 is 5, or we need 5 to get to 10. And 5 minus 3 is 2. So when we subtract 3.58 from 6.12, the answer should be 2.54. Now, continuing on with number 3, there's a few problems here. Okay, so the first number, these are small numbers, so it's useless to do computational. So I know that 3 minus 2 is 1. And I know that 6 minus 1 is 5. So that's 1.5. Okay, here, if we do this, this is technically 8 minus 2 is 6. However, there's nothing here, so that means the 5 is bigger, so we go this way, minus 0.5. So which means when we take 0.5 away from 6, that gives us 5.5. So again, if that strategy is too complicated for the kids, then we want to write this down computationally as 8 minus 2.5. Which means there's a 0.0 because we can always add a 0 in the end. Okay, so which means if we do that, that will be 7, that will be 10. That means that's 5, and that's 5, confirming our mental computation. Now, the last one, clearly, this cannot be done mentally. So we will write vertically. So 27.43 minus 5.65. Okay, so we can't take away 5 from 3. We borrow, regroup, making that 13. So starting with 5, we need 5 more to get to 10, and we need an extra 3 to make it to 13, which makes it 8. We can't take away 6 from 3, so we need to borrow 6, making this 13. So again, we start with 6. We need 4 more to get to 10, plus 3 is 7. This one we can subtract, and that one we can subtract, giving our final answer 21.78. So clearly, all we need to do is be consistent with the way that we solve. So if we can do things mentally, we try. If we can't, then there's a computational approach. That concludes lesson 2 of chapter 11. See you in the next lesson.